Hi. So grateful that I have a MacBook because it's such a good tripod. That's one of the 5 uses for my MacBook being a tripod. It has like very few purposes, very few purposes, you know? Very few purposes. I'm gonna open the window. I mean, not open the window, open the curtains. I didn't even button my pants. My hair's so crazy. What's really weird is these being the only pair of jeans that even actually fit me. Okay, I guess if I put my other jeans in the dryer, then they fit me. But then they don't fit me after like 20 minutes. So. And these are a bigger size than the other ones, but the other ones are too big on me. And they're the same brand. But they're different colors. So apparently, like the dye in the fabric makes these ones tighter even though they're a bigger size. You want to make... What do I have to do to understand why that's supposed to be logic? It's not like fun. Like, I'm not enjoying this. Like, I expect all logic to be entertaining. And if it's not, I don't consider it educational. I don't care. I don't care. If science were not fun, I would not consider it educational. If anything in life were not fun, I would not consider it educational. Like, I do not care at all. You can be insulted all you want, you can cry about that, I don't care. There are gonna be people who cry about, like, science not being fun for other people. Like, I'm not kidding. So, what do I want to talk about? There's a lot. So, the first thing I was thinking of is these jeans that I have. So they were white Hollister jeans that I tie-dyed. I had these a while. Like, I actually did it when I was like 16 or 17. I don't remember. But it was that era. So the funny thing is, I feel like when people see me wear these jeans or something, I feel like people are like, oh, like that seems like such a fun thing about you or whatever. Like, oh, you like tie-dyed your own jeans, like that's cool, that's like interesting, whatever. Especially like they are like kind of colorful. Like actually they look kind of good. But like the colors I chose, whatever. And I think I have 2 pairs like this. Maybe I got rid of the other one, even though the other one was better. I think I hated these ones, that's why I kept these ones and got rid of the other ones. The logic of that, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I've had them since I was 16 or 17, so why did I choose one or the other? You know. No, you don't know. Well, you're not gonna know. Yeah, I barely know. I just did that. That's what happened. So, like I was saying, my jeans, like the fact that I tie-dyed them, that would be such like a fun thing about me, right? Except maybe I wanted to do it. Maybe I wanted to do it, okay? I had an era of doing like almost everything for like some kind of validation, okay? That I didn't get. But like I had an era of like, or I didn't feel like I had or got the validation from things I did. I just like did things only for that reason for like 2 years of my life or something. You know, that was the choice that I made. That was the choice that I made, okay? Like 16 and 17, okay? Those years of my life. Some of like 18, actually, maybe like all of it. I don't know. But I was kind of like fading out of it by that point. But like, you know, when I was like 16 or 17, everything I did was for some kind of like validation, literally. Everything. Every choice I made. Every choice that I made. Everything. Every choice I made. There's not a single choice that I even made that I was like not so sure I was gonna get some kind of like validation from other people. Even though like I didn't necessarily like, even if I did, I didn't barely notice it because I was like, okay, like that's what I put all the effort in for. Like it's not like, you know, it's how it is. How it was. I'm like not like that now at all. But I didn't even brush my hair. Like I didn't even like, not that that's like a flex. It's not. But I'm in this weird in-between state. I mean, I brush my hair, like, I do. Everybody does. But, like, I'm like, I have more to, well, see, so many different, like, problems in the world. So many different problems with mindsets, okay? So many, not even just mine, but I'm saying, like, what I think yours probably is, too. So many different problems, okay? So many different problems. So many different problems. So many different problems that are not actually mine, so I'm not going to claim them. But that you could possibly assume that I had as well. Like, so many different problems, okay? Yeah, so I don't even think I made these jeans for validation. Like, I think this actually was like a peak of like finding purpose when I like made these, right? Or like tie-dyed them. I didn't sew them, you know. I don't work in like a factory for jeans, but somebody does. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so when I tie-dyed these, like I do think that this was like a point of finding purpose when I did that. That does not mean that like I was at like a clear headspace when I did though. Pretty sure I was like, what else am I gonna do? Like I was like probably, I don't think I was crying, but I was probably like sobbing on the inside or the outside. I don't remember. I don't know. So I was like in like a really weird like emotional state. So I think that helped me to find purpose at the time, but at what cost? You know, just because something helps you to find a purpose doesn't mean that it's actually like not harming you actively. So I was like so unhappy at the time. So I did these and they turned out great. But I think when I look at them, I can just tell I did put my like emotions into them. Does that mean though that I should have stayed in a like super heightened emotional state just to like do that for like minimal enjoyment? No, no. And it doesn't mean that all tie-dye is like that, but I don't know. When I did these, like the energy was like super good, but like I was so emotionally like drained and like emotional and upset, and you know, it was definitely just like such a sad time. I don't know. I was so unhappy at that time. So unhappy. I feel like I interrupt myself when I speak because I realize that what I'm saying, like mid-sentence, makes me sound like a completely different person than I actually am. And then I'm like, wait, now that's not what I actually meant. It's just what I thought that I meant in the moment. And now it's not. So I already have to like change the complete direction of where I'm going with that. But then it makes me sound like so scatterbrained. Like I don't even know. So that leads me to feel like these jeans that I'm wearing right now are probably like my favorite thing that I own, but they're also something that like I make a point of being like not attached to. Like I also have like this weird thing where like I'll be like, how can I be unattached to everything so much? So that leads me to like probably if I had to have like a theory of why I threw away the other jeans that were just like these or got rid of, whatever, I don't know. Like if I had to have a theory as to why I did that, because I don't remember why, but also sometimes when I look at my past actions, like sometimes I remember why, sometimes I'm like, honestly, that is a completely different person who did that. Like I don't know why, I don't know where that was going, but like sometimes I have to like respect my own past choices as if a separate person made them and just be like, you know, like I would never do that, but I understand like kind of where you were going with that, or like where, what was that? Where you could have seen like benefits to that, you know, like I understand where there could have been like some positive ideas there, you know? I don't know if you heard that. My like the joint just cracked, but it didn't feel like anything. It just made a sound. Weird. Yeah. I kind of definitely became somebody who prioritized non-attachment to things that I otherwise would have been super attached to. So that it's like I'm trying to now, hopefully in the future, do the opposite, which I haven't really decided how or what the plan is with that. I haven't even decided to like begin that. I just decided like at some point in time that's the overall direction I want to go in from like a super zoomed out perspective. You know. Because well like there is like a purpose to that. But there was also a purpose to like becoming unattached to things. So I'm just going wherever I find the most purpose. But that definitely is like weird sometimes. Something is so funny. Wait, I have to like switch. This is almond milk and then I have coffee. It's like room temperature now though. It's like room temperature. And I didn't put any sugar in it, so it's like bitter. Because I did not trust the process, okay? I was not in a trusting mood where I kind of, so my coffee did not separate with the cream even though it's room temperature, okay? If I put sugar in it, I'm pretty sure it would have separated. Not because it's something that always happens, but because to me, like things will happen that just are supposed to peel back the first layer of reality and show me like the underlying energy there, not, you know, not like, oh, I can just memorize that like every time I add these 3 ingredients, this outcome happens. Sorry, that's not how my reality operates at all. So because it's not, I just didn't want to have to go through that because it's like torture. So I was like, you know, instead I'm gonna go through the torture of like this bitter coffee. That's not sweet. because it would be traumatizing any other way. So, yeah, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I don't know why I'm like cold. Why am I cold? So, it's so interesting. So, basically, I feel like I say that word a lot. I probably do. I don't want to know. I don't want to know if I do or not. I don't want to know. I don't want to find out if I do. And I'm like, what words can I say on YouTube also? I have to like look up like what words I can or can't say on YouTube. Because that's like what I haven't done. But then there's so many like times I'm interrupted by myself being like, wait a minute, can I say that? Probably not. I probably can't say that. It's probably not like fine. See, I totally transformed into a different person just putting on this jacket. Like, I swear. And I totally did so much research on that. Not even meaning to. Just like, I had an era of my life where I learned the influence that clothing has on a person. And what types of influence clothing has. And like, the material and the, like, what it looks like. Any words on the clothing, like I had to learn like what does that even like influence for the person wearing it, okay? I had to learn that. So, but then I chose to just like not really worry about it so much because I was so fixated on it that like learning that was like harmful to me. Like I learned everything I could about it, and then I was like, that's great that like some part of me is like aware of that, but now I'm gonna like force myself to forget it because it's not actually relevant to my life and it's actually getting in the way and harming me. And you can look at life like I have to learn everything I can, I have to learn whatever, I have to know this, and that, I have to know to avoid this, that, or you can kind of do it a different way where you're like, it's about my level of resilience, how strong I could be, how much energy I have to like overcome anything, overcome any obstacle. Like, what does it mean to me if I were to overcome this rather than to avoid it? I think it actually evens out to probably being like similar, because either way you're learning as much as you can. It's just like, in what way do you choose to do that? So I think it can come from a more restrictive perspective when somebody is like, I have to know what to avoid, I have to know, like, in life, like, what do I not want to experience, whatever. Obviously, both ways, you have to know what you don't want to experience and, like, avoid it. It's just, like, this way is, like, a lot more generalized. But also, like, I know that I can't avoid certain types of, like, experience in life. So I have to be able to overcome anything that on Earth, like, so many obstacles can exist. It's like, do I know that I could overcome anything that I would be able to? Like, how could I be so strong that I could overcome pretty much anything versus how can I be restrictive of pretty much everything? So I think those kind of represent my two, like, mindsets throughout life. Like, I think I definitely started as being a person who would restrict almost any aspect of myself as much as possible. And then it wasn't even until I, like, I guess, like, around, like, when I was, like, 18 or something, like, I kind of switched that a little bit. Not a lot. A little bit. I would start to, like, be less restrictive of certain parts of myself. Like if I wanted to express creativity, I would let myself do that, but then the next day I would literally hate myself so much that I was like, I wanted to like dig my own grave for fun. Like I would love that. Like that at that point, I would have loved that. I would have been like that would have been like an activity. Like I would have found so much purpose in like physically digging myself a grave. Like I would have loved that. That would have been like $1 million. Like you just handed me like $1 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like that kind of weird. I definitely had like a weird era like in my mind. Like it was off. So yeah. But then it wasn't until like after changing my name, which is so weird for that to be the cutoff point. But because there was so much underlying energy, there was energy there. Like I did have strong energy when I changed my name, because that is like literally rewriting of soul contracts, and I felt that. Like not only did I physically, mentally, emotionally, all of my thoughts, every single thing about me, like completely, I got to rewrite and only keep like the parts that were having a positive impact on me. Well, actually, not necessarily, okay? That was when I had to switch, and it was like very difficult. I had to switch in from the type of person who would restrict pretty much anything that I could even like come up with, right? Literally restrict everything and completely leave none of that and become somebody who could overcome anything. So that was a weird transition. That's like taking a turtle and like removing the shell. That is like not, and then being like, maybe it's a frog now, and then it just like turns into a frog. Like that's what that is. So it's like, okay, so like I am powerful, but also all this time that I felt I like tried to make myself like sensitive towards energy. All of that wasn't true. All of that was actually myself I was perceiving. Now I have to be somebody who can overcome anything and also have depth in my perception of real energy. Actually. But you want to know what's weird? I looked at like an old photo, okay? And a conversation, okay? From that period of time. I actually like found it like literally a day ago. Looked at the photo, the conversation, whatever, and I was like, there is no energy there. It's not that I couldn't perceive the energy that was there at the time. I was actually attracting situations with no energy. That's possible. I was like, this is weirdly possible. It's possible for somebody to attract situations that actually just have no energy attached. And I thought, there I was thinking, oh, I just can't like perceive energy right now yet. No, like I attracted only situations, well, not only, but like the majority of situations without energy. Compared to now, like I was attracting situations with no underlying energy. Now, there are no situations that don't have underlying energy that I can actually sense. So the weird cutoff here is that now that I have that ability, did I always have that ability and only could attract situations with no energy? Or did I start having that ability, but when I look at past situations, I still don't? That does not make sense. That does not make sense. Or is there some illusion where I'm supposed to think that now I'm superior to who I was before, but we're actually the same? I mean, it's me either way, but like the way that I was more like, I don't even want to know. When I noticed that, I was like, I don't want to know. Insanity. I could grow cat whiskers trying to figure out what happened there. Like I could actually make myself like lose it completely over that. Like it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't actually matter. Yeah. I don't know. I guess that's all for the video. I just feel like ending it. I love you guys. Bye.